Good morning, I'm Brent Stock, and I'm the Executive Director of the James River Basin Partnership, and today we're going to talk about soil testing. This morning we're out at the home of Barb and Bob Kipfer, and they're in the final stages of their yard ethics certification. The last thing they had left on their checklist was a soil test. Soil tests are kind of one of the cornerstone pieces of the yard ethic program. A soil test is going to basically give us a prescription for our lawn. It's going to tell us what our nutrient needs are, if any, what our soil pH is, and what kind of organic matter we have to work with. All of those things kind of factor into soil health and helping us choose what kind of plants we want to put on our landscape. So in order to do a soil test, you're going to need some very basic tools. You're going to need something to dig up some soil, whether that's a soil probe like what we have here, or even just a shovel or a garden trowel. Just simple tools that you have at home already. Also, you're going to need some kind of bucket. For this purpose, we use a plastic feed bucket. And then you're going to need a baggie or something like that to put your soil sample in. So when you're taking your soil test, you're going to hit different parts of your lawn. You don't want to just take all of your soil from one specific part of your lawn, because that's only going to show you a small representation of what you have in your yard overall. Ideally, you want to do it across the lawn and kind of divide it up into sections in your mind and take samples in one corner and then in the next corner, and just throughout various areas of the yard so that you get a good representation of the soil that you have to work with. Once you have that soil together, you're going to mix that up. You're going to box it up in either a box that you get from the MU Extension office in your county. We have ours from the Greene County office over at the Botanical Center, or you can just get it together in a plastic bag. Either way is fine. Ideally, you want to let your soil dry up so that it's not moist and heavy for shipping, and pick out all the kind of organic bits, the chunks of grass and root wads and things like that. Pull that stuff out, rocks. You just want soil. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of get that packaged up and ready to go. To send your soil test out, you can use the County Extension office. If you're in Springfield here in Greene County, you can take that to the Botanical Center. That's where you'll process your payment, and they'll ship it off for you, and they'll actually interpret the results for you. So it's a really neat package that they've got going on. Or you can participate in our Lawn Steward soil testing program. That's something that we've done in conjunction with the City of Springfield. Lawn Steward is open to all residents within the city limits of Springfield. Unfortunately, if you live outside the county, you do not qualify for that free soil test. But through Yard Ethic, we'll come out, take the sample for you. We'll send in the sample to the Extension Office lab, and then we'll interpret those results when we receive them and write you a 3-year nutrient management plan for your lawn. So there's different avenues that you can take for your soil test. You know, if you're going to go through the Extension Office yourself, you're going to have to pay a small fee for shipping and handling and processing. If you go through the Lawn Steward soil testing program, it's going to be free for you. So why do I need to take a soil test, you may ask yourself? Well, a soil test is going to be almost like a prescription for your lawn. It's going to tell you what your nutrient needs are, if you have any. It's going to tell you about the organic matter within your soil, the organic matter content, and it's also going to tell you about the soil's pH. Each of those 3 things are very important to the success of the plants and trees and things that you plant on your landscape, because certain plants and certain trees, they require a specific soil type and specific growing conditions. Soil is obviously a very important part of your growing conditions, as well as sun, shade, the amount of water and wind that those plants are going to receive. So when we're looking at our soil test results, the first thing I always take a peek at is the nutrient levels. That's what most people, think of when they're getting their soil tested. You're going to look at your things like your magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, and your potassium levels. That's going to be available through a soil test. They'll also give you recommendations for nitrogen. The MU Extension soil tests are very easy to read. They have a scale that shows you basically from bad to excellent to excess levels of nutrients. So it's very easy to just look at that and identify what your nutrient levels look like. Again, you're going to kind of need to know what kind of plants you're planting, and based on your crop type or the type of plant that you're wanting to plant, you can choose a specific plant type on your test so that the results more accurately represent what that plant needs. You're also going to look at your pH. Your pH is going to be the level of acidity within your soil. A lot of plants, like our turf grasses, for instance, they want soil that's fairly neutral, somewhere in that 6 to 7 range for pH. But some plants, like blueberries, for instance, or rhododendrons, they're going to need a lower pH, something that's a little more acidic. So knowing what your pH level is like is going to help you maybe determine what kind of plants might be most suited for your soil type. Also, so pH, your nutrient levels, you're going to want to look at your organic matter, and that's shown as a percentage on your soil test. One thing we always tell homeowners is to strive for 5. So strive for 5% organic matter. Having a heavy amount of organic matter within your soil is going to increase its water holding capacity. So you're going to allow stormwater to kind of soak up in your lawn like a sponge. It's going to provide free recycled nutrients from plant matter for your soil and for the plants, either at your lawn or in your flower beds. And it's also going to help to just really increase the overall health of the microbial activity within your soil. So organic matter is very important for multiple reasons, as well as your nutrient levels and your soil pH. So those are the kind of things that we're looking to identify through a soil test. We've talked about the steps on how you can take a soil test at home, what you need to know from the soil test results. The last kind of couple things I'm going to talk about are resources that are available here locally. In Southwest Missouri, we're blessed with a ton of wonderful resources for just about everything outdoors. The same thing goes for gardening and lawn care. Really, we want to look for some of those resources at places like the MU Extension office, again over at the Botanical Center at Nathaniel Green Park. They've got soil scientists and the master gardeners are housed out of there. They're a wonderful resource for this type of information. So if you're struggling with maybe some plants on your lawn, or you have some issues in your yard, let them know and they can probably walk you through the steps. And one of the first things they're probably going to ask is, have you taken a soil test? So MU Extension office, again, great resource for that. The City of Springfield has a wonderful website together in conjunction with James River Basin Partnership called yardethic.com. There's going to be more resources available there as well. Obviously, you're familiar with Yard Ethic if you're watching this mini-series. And if you haven't yet had your lawn certified through the program, we encourage you guys to do that. Lastly, I'm going to point out the James River Basin Partnership's website, and that's jamesriverbasin.com. Through our website, you can find a blog and all kinds of helpful resources and information to kind of get you down this path towards a healthy, more sustainable lawn. Finally, I'd ask you to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even YouTube. We've got our information on all the social media channels. We frequently share articles from our partners, whether it be the Department of Conservation or the Missouri Master Naturalist Program or MU Extension. All of this stuff related to the health of our local watersheds, and how that connects with pollinators and native plants and tree canopy coverage. We kind of try to combine all that stuff together through Yard Ethic. So again, I would encourage you guys to get a soil test. It's one of the basic building blocks for a healthy, sustainable lawn. It's very easy to do. There's wonderful resources available. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to give us a call. At the office, you can reach me at 417-836-8878. Or you can find our information for email and other phone numbers on our website at jamesriverbasin.com. Thank you.